Have you ever wondered how deep family bonds can withstand the turmoil life throws at us? Let's dive into a tale that might just give us some answers. Meet the Johnsons, an everyday family with an extraordinary story. In the heart of the South, where the sun kisses the cotton fields and the scent of sweet tea fills the air, the Johnsons were living a simple, happy life. The father, a man of strength and integrity, worked tirelessly to provide for his family. His laughter was the melody that set the rhythm of their home, his dedication the cornerstone of their unity. Then one day an unforeseen storm began to gather. The father, the rock of the Johnson family, was struck with a sudden health emergency. The vibrant laughter that once echoed within their walls was replaced by the sterile silence of hospital corridors. The man who had always been their provider, their protector, was now fighting his own battle. In the blink of an eye, the world as they knew it was turned upside down. The father lost his job, a casualty of his health condition, a brutal blow that sent shockwaves through the family, a reality they never imagined they would have to face. The fears that come with such uncertainty started to creep in, casting a long shadow over their once sunny lives. But here's where the magic lies. Despite the darkness that seemed to engulf them, the Johnsons didn't falter. Their love for each other, the commitment that had held them together through years of joy and sorrow, became their beacon of hope. The husband and wife, bound by a love that was tested and proved, clung to each other, their resolve unbroken. And in the midst of this storm, they found an anchor. A faith that had always been a part of their lives, but now, more than ever, became their guiding light. Their faith in Jesus Christ, their trust in His plan, became their stronghold. As the storm of uncertainty began to loom, faith became their only anchor. Before we continue, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you will know when Motivate and Inspire channel loads another video. Now back to our video. In the face of adversity, unity and love can be a family's strongest weapon. It was in this crucible of hardship that the true strength of this family was revealed. With the father unable to work, the mother shouldered the burden, yet never once did she falter or show resentment. Instead, with grace and fortitude, she held the family together, her love and commitment unwavering. Their children, witnessing the selfless love and unity of their parents, were deeply influenced. They saw their parents not as individuals, but as a team, working hand in hand to weather the storm. Their home, despite the hardships, was filled with warmth and laughter. Their parents' love and unity became their sanctuary, their beacon in the storm. The parents, aware of the eyes upon them, strived to set an example. They showed their children that love is not merely in words, but in actions. It's in the small acts of kindness, the shared burden, the comforting hug at the end of a long day. It's in the way the mother quietly took on extra shifts, the way the father helped with homework, despite his fatigue. It's in the way they held each other, their bond unbreakable even in the toughest of times. What's more, the parents nurtured their faith. They showed their children that faith is not just for sunny days, but for stormy ones as well. They taught them to lean on their faith, to trust in it, to let it guide them when all else seems lost. They taught them that faith, like love, is a choice, a commitment, a constant decision to trust, even when the road ahead is unclear. And so, in the midst of their struggle, this family stood together. They faced adversity with unity, love, and faith. Their struggle was not easy, but it was shared. Their burden was not light, but it was carried together. And in the process, they taught their children the most valuable lessons of life, love, and faith. Through hardship, their love did not falter, but instead grew stronger. When life seems out of control, where do we find our grounding? That's the question this family had to grapple with. In the midst of their struggle, they turned to a source of strength that had always been a part of their lives, their faith in Jesus Christ. This couple, in the face of adversity, chose to lean into their faith, to trust in something bigger than themselves, and in doing so, they discovered a wellspring of hope and resilience that they could tap into. Their faith became their rock, their shelter in the storm. They began to pray fervently, not just as individuals, but as a family. Their prayers were not just for relief or for a quick fix to their situation. No, they prayed for strength, for patience, for wisdom. They prayed for the grace to endure, to face whatever came their way with courage and dignity. They prayed for understanding, to see their situation not as a punishment but as a challenge, a test of their faith and their love for each other. And as they prayed, they found their fear and anxiety being replaced by a sense of peace, a tranquility that transcended their circumstances. This wasn't a denial of their situation, but a quiet confidence that they could face it, that they would not be crushed by it. Their faith wasn't just a private affair, hidden away in the quiet moments of their day. It was a living, breathing part of their family life. Their children saw their parents praying, saw them reading the Bible together, saw them leaning on their faith in the midst of their struggle. And it had an impact. Their children, even in their young age, began to understand the power of faith. They saw their parents' steadfastness, their resilience, their unwavering belief in the face of adversity. They saw faith not as a nebulous concept, but as a tangible force, a source of strength and comfort. They began to pray with their parents, to join them in their faith journey. They began to understand that faith wasn't just about believing in something, it was about living it out, about letting it guide your actions and your decisions. And so, the family's faith became a beacon, a guiding light in the midst of their storm. It didn't magically make their problems disappear, but it gave them the strength to face them, the courage to endure, the hope to keep going. Through their faith, they found a sense of unity, a bond that held them together, even when everything else seemed to be falling apart. They discovered that their faith was not just a source of personal comfort, but a force that could bring them together, that could make them stronger as a family. In their hour of need, their faith guided them, showing their children the power of belief. Disagreements are inevitable, but how we handle them can define us. In the face of hardship, it's only natural for tensions to rise and disagreements to surface. Our couple was no exception. There were moments, amid the struggle and uncertainty, where they found themselves at odds with each other. One such instance was when the husband, newly healed but jobless, decided to take a job offer that was less than ideal. His wife, worried about his health and the strain this new role might bring, disagreed. The tension between them was palpable, but rather than letting this disagreement drive a wedge between them, they turned to their faith for guidance. In the quiet of their shared prayer, they sought understanding and peace. They asked Jesus for the wisdom to navigate through their disagreement, for the patience to listen, and the humility to consider the other's perspective. And in that shared space, beneath the gentle guidance of their faith, they found a resolution. The husband acknowledged his wife's concerns and decided to wait for a better opportunity. Another disagreement arose when the wife wanted to sell her cherished family heirloom to support the family. The husband, understanding the sentimental value of the item, was against it. Again, they turned to their faith. They prayed, they reflected, and they found a way to compromise. The wife decided to keep the heirloom, and the husband took on freelance work to supplement their income. In these instances, disagreements could have sown discord, but instead they brought the couple closer. Their faith in Jesus Christ provided them with a compass, directing them towards understanding and compromise. They held on to their love and commitment to each other, allowing their faith to guide them through the rough waters. Through these trials, they not only strengthened their bond, but also set a profound example for their children. They showed them that disagreements, though difficult, can be opportunities for growth and understanding when navigated with love and faith. Even in disagreement, they found unity in their faith. When we walk through the storm, is there a rainbow waiting on the other side? There's an old saying that the night is darkest just before the dawn. And for this family, their dawn was just about to break. The husband, now healed and stronger than ever, was finally able to rejoin the workforce. The journey back to work was not an easy one, but like a ship that had weathered a storm, he was more resilient, more determined. Every job application sent, every interview attended, was a step towards reclaiming his life, his family's stability. And eventually, after many trials and tribulations, he landed a job. It was as if the clouds had parted, and the first rays of sunlight were beginning to shine through. But it wasn't just about the financial recovery. It was about the emotional and spiritual journey they had embarked on as a family. The struggle had brought them closer, their love for each other deepening with each passing day. Their children saw their parents' unwavering commitment to each other, a testament to their unyielding love, and this became a lesson that they would carry with them throughout their lives. Their faith, too, had been fortified in the process. They had placed their trust in Jesus Christ, leaned on him for guidance and strength, and he, in his infinite wisdom and love, had led them through the storm. Their faith, like a beacon of light, had guided them through the darkest nights and into the dawn. And as they stood there, at the break of dawn, they realized that their journey had been about so much more than just weathering a storm. It was about discovering their strength, their resilience, their faith, and their love for each other. It was about realizing that even in the face of adversity, they had the power to overcome. The husband's return to work marked the beginning of their financial recovery, but more importantly, it marked the end of a chapter in their lives. A chapter filled with trials and tribulations, but also with love, faith, and resilience. Every storm eventually runs out of rain, every night turns into day, and every struggle paves the way for growth. For this family, their storm had passed, and in its wake, it had left a rainbow, a symbol of hope, of promise, and of new beginnings. They had walked through the storm, hand in hand, their faith guiding them every step of the way. And now, they stood at the end of their journey, their eyes fixed on the rainbow that arched across the sky. It was a testament to their journey, a symbol of their struggle, and a promise of brighter days to come. In the end, their unwavering faith and love led them to their rainbow. What lessons do we learn when we overcome adversity? This question, my friends, is the compass that guides us through the journey we've been following. The story of a family undeniably ordinary in its composition, yet extraordinary in its resilience, love, and faith. We witnessed a husband and father, the family's breadwinner, lose his job due to a health emergency. A formidable storm, unseen yet unforgiving, swept over their lives, shaking the very foundations of their existence. But remember, every storm is followed by a rainbow, and this family's rainbow was the love and commitment that the husband and wife showed towards each other. Their journey was not easy. They had their fair share of trials and tribulations, but in the face of adversity, they stood together, steadfast and united. They learned that unity is not about being together physically, but being there for each other emotionally and spiritually. This unity was their armor, protecting them from the harsh winds of their storm. Love, sweet and enduring, was their guiding light. It was not the kind of love often portrayed in fairy tales. It was real, raw, and at times tested to its limits. They learned that love is not merely about grand gestures, but about small acts of kindness, understanding, and patience. It's about standing by each other, even when the skies are gray and the path ahead seems foggy. Their faith in Jesus Christ was their anchor, keeping them grounded amidst the turbulent seas of their trials. They learned that faith is more than just believing in the divine. It's about trusting in his wisdom, his timing, and his plans. It's about surrendering to his will, even when it doesn't align with yours. They showed their children that faith is not a fair-weather friend. It's a companion for all seasons, a beacon of hope in times of despair. Their journey, filled with struggles and triumphs, influenced their children profoundly. It shaped their perspective towards life, love, and faith. The children learned that life is not a bed of roses, but even the thorns have lessons to offer. They witnessed the power of love, not just in words, but in action. They experienced the solace of faith, the comfort it brings in times of turmoil. This journey instilled in them values that would guide them through their own storms, making them resilient and compassionate individuals. Their story is a testament to the fact that adversity, while challenging, can also be a great teacher. It's in the crucible of trials that we discover our true strength, our capacity to love, and our unwavering faith. It's through these trials that we learn the true meaning of unity, love, and faith. Through their trials, they found strength in unity, power in love, and solace in faith, instilling these values into the hearts of their children. And in doing so, they taught us all a lesson in resilience, love, and faith.